up, YouTube? Topaz Jake's back for another daily review, and this one is to that Pusha T featuring Jay-Z, Drug Dealers Anonymous, and this song is the first single for this King Push album that has constantly been getting pushed back, or honestly haven't heard anything about it until now. See, Pusha T has been trying to do this whole drug dealing with vintage sounding beats and such, trying to make it like the classic sounding drug dealer music for quite some time, and I don't feel as though he succeeded on any account of it so far. In which this song has so many similarities to that Can I Live off of Reasonable Doubt that you can obviously see that that was the whole inspiration behind this. Some old drug dealing lingo type punchline tracks where they're using high level vocabulary, like it's an obvious thing to see. And real talk, it's not that bad, especially since they're sticking to the strips, which is just spitting lyrics. I mean, a lot of key moments all throughout, like on Pusha T's verse, how he gave a pretty good shout out to one of my favorite rappers of all time in AZ. And then you got Jay-Z giving shouts out to his accountants and lawyers and stuff, because without them, all of his assets would have been seized from when he was doing his thing or whatever. I liked all aspects of that. My issue with this track is, one, the production was a little lackluster. I mean, can you imagine if he got quality production on the level of, say, Exodus with this track? It could have been that much better. And then to throw on top of it, it's incomplete. See, not every song has to have a hook, but if this is going to serve as your first single for this album, then you odds are need a hook on it. Like, if Can I Live had a hook on it, this can have a hook too. I mean, these things really take away from the whole fact that the lyrics are talking about the paper trails that they left from their lives that they had, and that they're lucky to get away because they were anonymous through the whole thing. I definitely did enjoy the concept, they just didn't finish the song. But it's still one I definitely recommend you guys to go ahead and peep out, because it has its really good moments. But this concludes today's review, and now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer Vito Beats before we jump into the news and then jump into an article from downloadpads.com. Is suing Rostrum Records, which was the label that he pretty much came into the game with, that he's no longer with and such, man, but he's suing them over the 360 deal that they signed him with, and that he was 16 when he signed, in which his personal manager led him down that path when there were better options out there to be had. And for a decade he was signed to this, and they was eating off of him so hard, man. And you know, I'm not even mad at Wiz for trying to file this lawsuit to get this $1 million plus off of these dudes. But this serves as a lesson, man. You're better off independent than signing a 360 deal to anybody. But anyway, on to today's article from downloadpads.com, and today's article is about crazy women, dude, because I experience these types all too often. Like, here's the thing, if they're really dope and they're single as they continue to grow in age, that's the key sign that you dealing with somebody who's super crazy. Like this one chick that I was talking to, she allegedly had this business selling these cookies with this shots of liquor in it. Didn't really believe it, especially since she lied to me, saying that she was on Shark Tank when people can look that up. But so I asked her, how is she going to expand on this? And she was like, well, you know, I really can't expand it here in North Carolina because the gay and lesbian community is up in riots about something, and Charlotte is going all the way down for it. I'm like, what does that have to do with you selling any cookies? Like, come on now. And you know what? This is the types of women that you need to avoid, especially as you begin to come up in the game, man. Don't just mess with these women so you can have sex with them and everything, man, because if they're crazy, you shouldn't be dealing with them at all. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.